Hello, it's Talking Transfers, slightly later in the week Wednesday. We were waiting for the sunshine to come out, Paul. It's another glorious day to Dovetail.
I didn't expect it, you know. I put my jacket on thinking it might rain and now I feel like a bit of a divvy, so here I am roasting hot.
Yeah, you've got to be careful at the moment with the weather is catching out, but it's a beautiful sunny day and great to see the boys still enjoying themselves. They moved to Evian now and a few new contracts signed since we last spoke, Paul. Sorry, got attacked by an insect there. Trent last Friday, and then the great news of Fabinho yesterday. Really good news for Liverpool.
Yeah, great news. Just continuing a bit of a trend, isn't it? You know, Liverpool started the summer with Adrian and then Queven Kelleher, and then slowly moved on. Harvey Elliott got a new deal. Loads of young players. Matej Musialowski, he's got one. A few others as well. Callum Scanlon, you know, all given their kind of first professional contract. So it's just been, you know, in keeping with the theme of the summer. You know, Liverpool desperate to keep together the nucleus of the team that's won them the Champions League and the Premier League, and Fabinho yesterday. So yeah, you know, that has been the priority all summer for Liverpool, and it'll go on. So I'm sure we're going to talk about who we expect to sign next, and I'm expecting some big names, to be honest.
Well, let's do that then. There's this big group of players who expired in 2023, should I say. There's a couple next summer, but we don't expect Liverpool to maybe do too much on those. But in terms of this group on 2023, there's a lot of them, and there's some big names. So, you know, should Liverpool fans be anxious, do you think, or do you expect maybe one or two more, you know, over the next week or so to just get announced they've signed?
Yeah, I'm expecting that, to be honest. I mean, Fabinho was always one. Fabinho and Alisson, we've known for quite a while that Liverpool have been keen to speak to them as soon as they come back from the Copa America and back at training, and lo and behold, 2 days in, Fabinho's got a new contract. So I'm expecting Alisson at some point, you know, fairly soon. Not too sure when it will be at this point, but I'd be amazed if he hasn't signed a new contract within the next week to 10 days. And then moving on to the likes of Salah, to the likes of Van Dijk. Not expecting too many hiccups on the Van Dijk situation. Not expecting any on the Salah one, to be perfectly honest, but he's always someone who's probably linked away from Liverpool a little bit more, isn't he? But I think that's always tentative and speculative. And I think him saying back in December to Marca that you know, everything's in the club's hands was a little volley across the court to them to say, you know, look, your move. And I think he wants to stay. The club are desperate to keep him. He's the best attacker, isn't he? So I think Salah will get one, Van Dijk will get one, Alisson at some point, as I say, and then it'll just be a case of seeing what else can be done. Sadio Mane, potentially Andy Robertson. It's all about just keeping these big names down to new terms. Yeah,
there's Firmino in there as well, and the fact that it's all free on 2 years, you know, there'll be some urgency there, won't there, in terms of all three of them, not just in terms of, you know, keeping them here at Liverpool, which was one, but also that dreaded word, the resale value is something that we're thinking. You know, the longer sort of these go on, you know, the more that Liverpool will be aware is we can't just maybe cash in them for what you were expecting.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's probably the reason that Emre Can was allowed to leave on a free. Certainly the reason why Wijnaldum was allowed to depart on a free. And I think Liverpool now, and in football in general, I don't think losing players on a free transfer is kind of the embarrassment that it once was, particularly if you know it's coming and you think that, you know, players are more valuable to you getting the season out of them rather than selling them with just a year left on the contract.
Yeah. Especially if they're on a lower contract than what they would be to sort of keep them on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And Wijnaldum's probably a perfect example of that, isn't he? He was on the same contract he signed in July 2016, and when you think of all the players who came in after him and all the players who signed new contracts before him, he was probably one of the lowest paid in the squad in terms of big name players. But yeah, I think, as I say, I think the priority for Liverpool always has this summer always been to get these names that tied down, and so far so good with the likes of Fabinho and Shaqiri and Fabinho and Trent and Harvey Elliott as well. That was a good one, I thought, as well, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Because, you know, this show is called Talking Transfers. We all love transfers. We're all desperate for them. But if you sat Jurgen down and asked him what the priority for summer, he probably just wants to keep these boys. I think he's aware just how talented this squad is, what a unique sort of, you know, set of circumstances have come together to bring this together. And he lost a lot of players at Dortmund and maybe wasn't quite able to allow that squad to come to their full potential. He has with this one, and as I say, I get the feeling with him is if you give him a choice of, you know, new deals for these great superstars that we've got, or new lads to come in with a bit of a question mark, he'd take the ones he's got every day.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, the proof's in the pudding of what they've won over the last 2.5 years, 3 years. You know, they've been Premier League runners-up a couple of times. They've won the Champions League. They've obviously won the Premier League. The Club World Cup, the first one ever in Liverpool's history, and they've added in a little Super Cup to boot. So, you know, this group has proven that they are winners. So why would you not move heaven and earth to keep them together?
Alright, the Reds, thanks for watching a little bit of a premium Anfield Wrap video there. If you want to watch the rest of that show and get access to much more, click join below. That activates our YouTube membership. It means you get a premium video every day of the week. You get our post-match content, you get reviews, previews and exclusive interviews, all here from the heart of Liverpool. Follow us, follow them. Up the Reds.